Good morning and welcome to today's class. Today's class is a continuation of our previous class on SURDS. At the previous class, we were looking at the conjugate of binomial SURDS using the idea of difference of two squares. And at that class, I gave you so many examples and I left the class with this as an assignment for you to solve. So in today's class, we shall solve this assignment which I gave you, as well as solve more exercises on conjugate of binomial SURDS using the idea of difference of two squares, where we shall be asked to rationalize binomial SURDS using the ideas of difference of two squares. So, if you have done the assignment, kindly follow the method I'm going to use and confirm if you actually got it right or wrong. So, we are to rationalize this fraction, that is root 28 divided by 2 root 5 minus 6 root 3, of which we said we are going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of 2 root 5 minus 6 root 3, and the conjugate of it is said to be 2 root 5 plus 6 root 3. So we are going to multiply both the numerator and denominator by the conjugate, which is 2 root 5 plus 6 root 3 divided by 2 root 5 plus 6 root 3. When you simplify this, this will be equal to multiply the numerator as well as the denominator. This is going to give us root 28 into 2 root 5 plus 6 root 3 divided by, using the idea of difference of two squares, we can simplify the denominator to be 2 root 5 squared minus bracket 6 root 3 squared. So we can further simplify this to be, I'm going to simplify root 28. For root 28 can be said to be root 4 times root 7, and that gives me 2 root 7. So this becomes 2 root 7 into 2 root 5 plus 6 root 3 divided by, squaring 2 root 5, it gives me 4, or 2 squared times 5, minus, doing same, gives me 36 times 3. So when you simplify the numerator, I'm going to use 2 root 7 to multiply every other term in the bracket, and this gives me 4 root 35 plus 12 root 21, all divided by 2 squared is 4, and 4 times 5 is 20, minus 36 times 3, that will give me 108. So simplifying this further, root 35 is said to be in its basic form, as it cannot be expressed as a product of two factors where one is a perfect square. Same thing with 21, I will then leave them like that, while I factorize out 4, because 4 is a factor of 4 and 12. This becomes 4 into root 35 plus 3 root 21 divided by 20 minus 108 is said to be minus 88. Since 4 is a factor of 4 and 88, I'm going to use 4 to simplify, and 4 into itself is 1, 4 into 8 is 2, into 8 is 2, leaving us with our answer, bracket root 35 plus 3 root 21 all divided by minus 22. And we don't leave the negative sign at the denominator. Rather, this becomes minus into root 35 plus 3 root 21 all divided by 22. And this is your answer. Kindly go through the steps I took and see if it corresponds with yours. Otherwise, you chat me up at the comment section. Don't forget to like this video if you've not done so, and also we encourage you to subscribe to our channel as well as to turn on the notification bell so as to be notified whenever a new video is being uploaded. Also, we recommend you share the link with your friends so that they can also benefit from this class. Question 8 says 2 root 6 divided by root 3 minus root 2. So we are going to multiply by the conjugate of the denominator, which is root 3 plus root 2, all divided by root 3 plus root 2. At the last class, I showed you how you can find the conjugate of a surd, of which I said is just for you to change the sign of the second term. So when you multiply this, this is going to be equal to 2 root 6 into brackets root 3 plus root 2 all divided by, with the knowledge of difference of 2 squares, this is going to give us root 3 squared minus root 2 squared, which is equal to, I'll now simplify the numerator. This becomes 2 root 18 plus 2 root 12 all divided by 3 minus 2. For 3 minus 2 is said to be 1. So this is equal to 2 times 3 root 2. I have simplified root 18 plus 2 times 2 root 3. I've equally done same to root 12. All divided by 3 minus 2 is 1. This is equal to 2 times 3 root 2 can be said to be 6 root 2 plus 2 times 2 root 3 is 4 root 3 over 1. And this is equal to, I can factorize out 2, or you leave it in this form. For factorizing out 2, we have 2 into bracket 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 as your answer. Question 9, we have 2 root 5 divided by root 8 plus root 5. You have to multiply both the numerator and denominator by the conjugate of root 8 plus root 5. And that gives us root 8 minus root 5 divided by root 8 minus root 5. When you multiply out, this becomes 2 root 5 into root 8 minus root 5 divided by, applying the difference of 2 squares, we have root 8 squared minus root 5 squared. When you simplify further, this gives us 2 root 40 minus 2 times 5. For root 5 times root 5 is 5. And this is said to be 8 minus 5. This is equal to 2 times root 40 can be said to be root 4 times root 10. And that gives us 2 root 10. So this becomes times 2 root 10 minus 10 divided by 8 minus 5 is 3. This is equal to 2 times 2 root 10 is 4 root 10 minus 10, all divided by 3. I can then factorize out 2, for 2 is common. We have 2 into bracket 2 root 10 minus 5, all divided by 3. Ladies and gentlemen, please, this is your answer. On no account should you subtract 5 from root 10. They are not like terms, and that cannot be simplified. Question 10, we have 27 divided by root 6 plus 2 root 3. Multiply both the numerator and denominator by the conjugate of root 6 plus 2 root 3. And that is said to be root 6 minus 2 root 3 divided by root 6 minus 2 root 3. When you multiply out, this gives you 27 into root 6 minus 2 root 3, all divided by, this gives me 6 minus 2 root 3 squared. For root 6 squared is said to be 6. This can be simplified further to be 27 divided by root 6 minus 2 root 3. I'm going to simplify just the denominator for now. This is 6 minus 2 squared is 4, and root 3 squared is 3, equal to 27 into root 6 minus 2 root 3 divided by 6 minus 12. And 6 minus 12 is said to be 6. So this becomes 27 into root 6 minus 2 root 6, all divided by minus 6. For 6 minus 12 is said to be minus 6. So simplifying this further, you agree with me that 3 is a factor of 27 and 6. So 3 into 6 is 2. 3 into 27 is 9. And this is said to be equal to minus 9 into root 6 minus 2 root 6 divided by 2. For positive divided by negative gives us a negative. So you can also simplify this to be equal to, I can take the negative sign inside, and this becomes minus 9 root 6 over 2. When you multiply minus 9 by minus 2, it gives you plus 18 root 6 divided by 2, and 18 root 6 divided by 2 can be said to be 9 root 6. So this can be simplified to be minus 9 root 6 divided by 2 plus 9 root 6. Is it 9 root 6? Sorry, is root 3. So this is root 3. So we have it as root 3, root 3. Okay. We can therefore rearrange this by bringing the positive forward and taking the negative inwards to be equal to 9 root 3 minus 9 root 6 over 2. So this is said to be your answer, or you can move ahead to factorize out 9, and you will have something like this: 9 into root 3 minus root 6 over 2. So any of the two can still go. Question 11, we are asked to rationalize 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2 divided by 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. Just like we said, you multiply both the numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the denominator, and that gives us this times 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 divided by 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3. This is equal to bracket 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2 to be multiplied by 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3, or divide by difference of two squares gives us 3 root 2 squared minus 2 root 3 squared. And when you simplify this, this is going to give us 2 root 3 times 3 root 2 is said to be 6 root 6 plus 2 root 3 times 2 root 3 is said to be 4 times 3, okay, plus 3 root 2 times 3 root 2 will give us 3 times 9 times 2, and 3 root 2 times 2 root 3 will give us 6 root 6. That's for the numerator, or divide by the denominator. This is said to be 9 times 2 minus 4 times 3. So when you simplify, this will be equal to 6 root 3 plus 4 times 3 is 12 plus 9 times 2 is 18 plus 6 root 6. Sorry, this is 6 root 6. All divided by 9 times 2 is 18 minus 12. So simplifying this further, we'll collect like terms. That is 6 root 6 plus 6 root 6. That will give us 12 root 6 plus 12 plus 18 is said to be 30. All divided by 18 minus 12 is 6. This is equal to, we can then factorize out what is common. And if you look at it, 6 is common. So factorizing out 6, we have 6 into 2 root 6 plus 5 divided by 6. And when you simplify, 6 will cancel out, leaving us with 2 root 6 plus 5. So this is your answer. Question 12 says we should rationalize the denominator of the expression root 6 plus 2 root 5 divided by 4 minus 3 root 6. This is said to be equal to root 6 plus 2 root 5 divided by 4 minus 3 root 6 times the conjugate, which is 4 plus 3 root 6 divided by 4 plus 3 root 6. And this is equal to root 6 plus 2 root 5 to be multiplied by 4 plus 3 root 6, all divided by 4 squared minus 3 root 6 squared, because we are multiplying by its conjugate. So this is equal to, I will split one of the brackets into 2 at the numerator and use them in turns to multiply the second bracket. This becomes root 6 into 4 plus 3 root 6 plus 2 root 5 into 4 plus 3 root 6. Divide by, you simplify the denominator. This becomes 16 minus 9 times 6. And when you simplify further, this becomes root 6 times 4 gives us 4 root 6 plus 3 times 6 plus, do same to the second bracket, you have 8 root 5 plus 6 root 30, all divided by 16 minus 9 times 6 is 54. So when you simplify, this is equal to 4 root 6 plus 18 plus 8 root 5 plus 6 root 30, all divided by 16 minus 54 is minus 38. So we can simplify further by saying, let me move all the irrational numbers behind. This will give us 18 plus 4 root 6 plus 8 root 5 plus 6 root 30 divided by minus 38. Then we try to see if we can factorize out any factor from the numerator. 2 is common, so I can factorize out 2. This becomes 2 into 18 divided by 2, you'll be left with 9, plus 4 root 6 divided by 2 gives you 2 root 6, plus 8 root 5 divided by 2, you have 4 root 5, while 6 root 30 divided by 2 gives us 3 root 30. Now 2 is common because 2 is the only factor, or is the common factor between 18, 4, 8 and 6, all divided by minus 38. So 2 can divide itself, and minus 38 minus 19 times, this will be equal to, now take the negative sign up, it becomes minus 9 plus 2 root 6 plus 4 root 5 plus 3 root 30, all divided by 19. And this is your answer. Don't forget to like our videos as you watch, while we encourage those of you who have not subscribed to subscribe to the channel, as well as to on the notification bell so as to be notified whenever a new video is being uploaded. Also, you can use the comment section to interact with us, to let us know how you feel about our classes, and also you can share the link with your friends so that they can also benefit from this class. Question 13 says we should rationalize the expression 1 divided by root 2 plus root 5. You have to multiply both the numerator and denominator by the conjugate, which is root 2 minus root 5 divided by root 2 minus root 5. So when you simplify, 1 times root 2 minus root 5 is said to be root 2 minus root 5 divided by, this gives us 2 minus 5. When you simplify, this is equal to root 2 minus root 5 divided by minus 3. And this is said to be equal to, when you take the negative sign up, it becomes minus root 2 minus root 5, all divided by 3. And this can be simplified further to mean minus root 2 plus root 5 divided by 3. But we always prefer using a positive sign in front where there is 1, and this can be simplified to be root 5 minus root 2 all divided by 3. So this is your answer. Our last question says we should simplify 1 over 3 plus root 5 minus 1 over 3 minus root 5. What we are to do in this case is to first of all find the LCM of both denominators. Subtract as if you are working with fractions and you see it being simplified. So you need to simplify it first. Then if the denominator is still an irrational number, then you can rationalize the denominator. So we are going to look for the LCM. And when you are dealing with this, the LCM of 3 plus root 5 and 3 minus root 5 can be said to be the product of them. So this can be said to be equal to 3 plus root 5 times 3 minus root 5. So 3 plus root 5 times 3 minus root 5 divided by 3 plus root 5 will give us 3 minus root 5. And 3 minus root 5 times 1 is said to be 3 minus root 5 minus, do same, 3 plus root 5 times 3 minus root 5 divided by 3 minus root 5 is said to be 3 plus root 5. And 3 plus root 5 times 1 gives us 3 plus root 5. So when you simplify this, it's going to give us, we have 3 minus root 5 minus 3 minus root 5. For when you expand, minus times plus becomes minus. So divide by, these are conjugates, so it's going to give us 3 squared minus root 5 squared. And we know that root 5 squared is 5. This will be equal to, collect like terms, this is plus 3 minus 3 is 0, and minus root 5 minus root 5 can be said to be minus 2 root 5. Divide by 3 squared is 9, so we have 9 minus 5, and this is equal to minus 2 root 5 divided by 4. 2 is a factor of 2 and 4, so 2 into itself is 1, 2 into 4 is 2, leaving us with minus root 5 over 2. Now, by simplifying it this way, we end up having a rational denominator. So this is your answer. That brings us to the end of today's class. In today's class, we have been able to solve more exercises on conjugate binomial SURDS using the idea of difference of two squares in rationalizing them. So whenever you are asked to rationalize, all you need to do is, if it is a binomial expansion, you look for its conjugate and multiply both the numerator and the denominator by its conjugate. But if it is a one-term expression, you just multiply both the numerator and denominator by the denominator. That brings us to the end of today's class. In today's class, we have been able to explain the concept of conjugate binomial SURDS. And in our next class, we shall be looking at the application of the concept of SURDS to problems involving trigonometrical ratios of angles 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and 60 degrees. But before we go, I have an assignment for you. Kindly simplify the expression 1 divided by root 5 plus root 3 minus 1 divided by root 5 minus root 3. All you need to do is to take example from the last exercise I did by solving the fraction, and you end up rationalizing the denominator. But in a situation whereby the denominator is still in SURDS form, you are to rationalize the denominator using its conjugate. Thank you for staying with me to the end of this class. It means a lot to me as your teacher, and I'm very impressed of you staying to this class. Kindly like this video as you watch, while I encourage you to subscribe if you are yet to do that by clicking on the subscribe button, as well as turning on the notification bell so as to be notified whenever a new video is being uploaded. Also, we recommend that you share the link with your friends so that they can equally benefit from this project. Kindly use the comment section to interact with us, to ask questions, and also express your feelings about our classes. Thank you, and do have a nice day. See you in our next class.